There we go. Mug is safely on the table. And I actually did not spill my coffee today. So we are already off to a great start. I am Joe.
Good morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time zone you're in right now. Welcome back to Sip&Talk. I am Sunny. What is up, Sip&Talkers?
It is so good to be here with you all.
It really is. But before we get into it, I just have to complain about this thing that happened to me last week. It was so weird.
Oh, man, what happened?
So I was back at this little coffee shop near my old apartment, and I am just sitting there casually chatting with the guy at the next table, just making small talk.
Right, just normal neighborhood stuff.
Exactly. I just casually mentioned that, rent in the area is totally crazy right now and that their lattes went up by, $10.
Which, they absolutely did.
Right. But out of nowhere, this guy completely changes his posture, sneers at me, and just yells in the middle of the cafe. He goes, "It is all a government conspiracy.
Yeah.
You young people are completely brainwashed."
Wait, seriously?
Yeah.
Just over coffee prices?
Yes. I was so stunned. I just sat there holding my overpriced latte. We went from a totally simple chat about inflation to a screaming match about conspiracies in 3 seconds flat.
That is just wow. But, you really stumbled right into a classic outrage trigger point. And the scary part is, it is not just your personal experience.
Oh, definitely not.
Think about that incredibly heartbreaking email we received from our listener in Taiwan. In that email, you could practically hear how desperate they were.
Yeah, that one really stuck with me.
Right. They said they were having a simple family dinner, just talking about long-term care policies and migrant workers. And suddenly, family members are screaming at each other.
Over dinner.
Exactly. They were accusing each other of being brainwashed by that party and calling each other enemy collaborators. They literally stormed out before the food was even finished.
It is just so sad. And the listener asked us, is everyone on social media just hyper angry and black and white now?
Yeah. They really wanted to know if that kind of cognitive warfare is only targeting Taiwan or if it's happening globally.
Right. And what is the actual benefit of maximizing all this societal conflict? Why do they want us so mad at each other?
And that is exactly the agenda for today. This is such a crucial real-world question because cognitive warfare, it is not just a cross-strait issue.
No, not all.
If you look at racial tensions right here in Washington, or security debates in Tokyo, or even energy anxiety in Europe, there is this standardized global playbook for mind manipulation.
So how exactly are they handing us the sledgehammer to destroy our own homes? And what is the ultimate goal here?
Well, our mission today is to break that down. And we are going to avoid all the dense military jargon. We want to use everyday life examples to dismantle the logic behind how these foreign actors weaponize our real pain point, just to amplify extreme polarization.
I love that. So grab your coffee or your cocktail and let us just get right into it.
Let us do it. So before we look at the whole global geopolitical map, we really need to understand the fundamental weapon being used here.
Right, the core mechanism.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because it is not just about inventing fake news out of thin air. It is about finding existing cracks in our society and literally stuffing them with dynamite.
Which is so much more insidious,
It really is. Think about it like a leaking pipe in our house. The difference between constructive criticism and destructive bashing is massive.
Totally.
If our house has a leaking pipe, a constructive critic says, "Hey, here is the data, here is the leak, let us grab some tools and fix our plumbing."
Right, but the destructive alternative is someone standing in the living room screaming, "The house is rotting. Everyone living here is an idiot. Just burn it to the ground."
Exactly. And cognitive warfare is basically that neighbor standing by the leak, handing you a sledgehammer and just whispering, "Smash the walls."
Smash the walls. Or, it reminds me of the kitchen chef analogy you brought up the other day.
Oh, yeah, the soup.
Yeah.
So if our soup is too salty, constructive feedback is just telling the chef to, use a timer or measure better.
Right, simple fix.
But cognitive warfare tells the diners that the chef actually took bribes from the salt lobby and that we need to literally burn our own restaurant down.
The goal isn't even to solve the problem at that point. It is just to destroy public trust and paralyze our ability to make decisions together.
Which is brilliant in a really dark way.
Yeah.
So how does this sledgehammer tactic look on a global scale?
Well, think of it like a schoolyard bully. The bully wants to take over a smaller kid's house, but they have to deal with the neighborhood guards, and they have to deal with the strongest kid in class, which is the U.S.
That is us. And targeting us is a huge part of their strategy. It is all about pushing us into isolationism.
Right, because if we are distracted, we won't intervene.
Exactly. We see this with that massive network called Spamiflage. They target our domestic issues specifically.
Oh, Spamiflage is wild. How they impersonate people.
Right. Foreign bots will literally impersonate Black Lives Matter activists and extreme white supremacists on our platforms at the exact same time.
Just playing both sides.
Exactly. And just to be super clear here, our show takes absolutely no sides on these politics. We are strictly neutral.
Totally. We are just looking at the mechanics of the manipulation.
Right. Whether someone supports Trump or absolutely opposes him, the foreign adversary's goal is exactly the same. Make us hate each other. They even weaponized the Maui fires.
Oh, I remember that. They claimed our own military-used directed energy weapons, right?
Yes. And they constantly agitate around our border crisis or even our tech policies, like when Washington passed the GPS to secure our supply chains.
Oh, yeah, Washington is at it again, and they just use that to fuel the fire.
Exactly. The goal is just to make us so exhausted by our own internal fights that we embrace isolationism and stop acting as a global ally.
It is like the bully telling the strongest kid that his own house is on fire, so he just stays home.
Precisely. But they do not just target us. What about Japan?
Yeah, so in Japan, they use what is basically the pacifism trap. And it is so clever. Foreign actors will blend into legitimate local protests.
Like which ones?
Like the Fukushima water release protests or the anti-Sanai Takaichi rallies.
Wow, they just hijack the existing anger.
Exactly. It is like a rival restaurant sending fake customers to scream about hygiene in your lobby and then filming it to claim, look, even their own customers are revolting.
That is insane. So what is the actual goal there?
To keep Japan totally paralyzed by historical guilt and diplomatic panic. If they are terrified of internal backlash, they won't assist in any regional security.
Which just leaves the door wide open for the bully.
Right. And then you look at Europe, and it is a tactic of economic kidnapping.
Oh, the Dragon Bridge campaign.
Yeah, that was massive. Foreign actors literally posed as environmentalists to stop rare earth mining in Europe.
And they pushed this whole narrative that Washington is just harvesting Europe over the Ukraine war.
Exactly. The goal there is to separate Europe from us, to convince the rich neighbor to just sit back, make money, and let the bully do his thing.
Man, it is everywhere. But here's what I wonder. While China plays this long game of slowly poisoning the neighborhood's trust, what happens when a hot war actually breaks out?
Oh, you mean like when tanks are literally rolling?
Yeah. How does cognitive warfare operate differently then? Because you would think the propaganda stops when the bullets start, right?
Actually, it's the exact opposite. Hot wars require way more cognitive warfare because the goal is to break the victim's will immediately and cut off their lifeline.
So if China is the slow poison, Russia is like a flashbang.
That is such a good way to put it. A tactical flashbang. Look at what they did in Ukraine to spread just pure despair.
The deepfakes.
Yes, spreading deepfakes that Zelensky fled with all the money.
Yeah.
It's basically like getting beaten up while someone whispers in your ear that your brother just abandoned you.
Just totally shattering your morale in an instant.
Right. And then in Europe, they pushed freeze anxiety.
I remember reading about this, the doppelganger campaign, right?
Yeah. Exactly. They faked entire news sites. Like, they cloned Le Monde to convince Europeans that helping refugees would cause their own economy to just collapse.
And that they would literally freeze in the winter.
Yes, exactly. And then they target our taxpayers here in the U.S. with pure extortion.
Right. Claiming our money is buying luxury mansions in Kyiv, or threatening that if we give them F-16s, it automatically means nuclear World War III.
Right. It is the bully threatening to throw a grenade in the classroom if we even try to hand the victim some pepper spray.
It just creates total decision paralysis.
Exactly. China is the slow drip poison making you hate your own democratic system, and Russia is the flashbang meant to cause immediate sensory overload.
Which is terrifying.
Yeah.
But if these attacks are so sophisticated and they exploit our actual valid concerns, because, our border issues are real and inflation is real, how do we protect ourselves?
This is the most important part. Because we cannot just become paranoid and label every criticism as foreign interference.
Right, that is the double trap. Defensive overreaction.
Yes. If we call every critique of our government cognitive warfare, we literally destroy our own democratic self-correcting mechanism.
We would be doing their job for them.
Exactly. So we need actionable habits. I like to use this 30-second antibody checklist.
Okay, I like the sound of that. How does it work?
Well, when you feel an outrage trigger-like, you read something and you feel extreme anger, just pause for 5 seconds.
Just breathe for a second.
Right. And ask yourself, is the language extreme? Is it actually offering a solution, or is it just selling despair?
Oh, that makes so much sense. It reminds me of the co-pilot analogy.
Oh, share that one.
So a constructive critic is like a co-pilot who yells, "Brake, there is a pothole." They are loud, but they're trying to save the car.
Right, they want you to survive.
But cognitive warfare is the guy in the back seat screaming, "The driver's awful, we're all gonna die."
Yeah.
While he is literally cutting the brake lines.
Exactly. He doesn't want to fix the car, he wants it in the ditch.
So the golden rule really is just asking yourself, does this comment get us closer to solving the problem or closer to dying together?
That is the perfect filter. And as we wrap up today, I just want to reiterate, we do not criticize or discriminate against any specific citizens or countries here.
No, not at all.
Our goal is purely objective. We just want to highlight these factual geopolitical strategies so that you can reclaim your own independent critical thinking.
And I want to leave you with one final kind of mind-bending thought.
Oh boy, lay it on me.
If these outrage tactics work so perfectly for foreign adversaries trying to destroy nations, how often are everyday social media algorithms using the exact same psychological flashbangs just to keep our attention and sell us ads?
Oh, wow. That is terrifying.
Just something to think about the next time your feed makes your blood boil.
Totally. So please do not get emotionally hijacked by fake news or outrage bait. Keep your head cool. And if you want more rational, deep discussions, make sure you subscribe to Sip and Talk.
Absolutely. And real quick, a special shout out to our old buddy Mickey. Head over to Mickey's YouTube channel, Mickey to Life, to check out his brand new travel vlog. He does great work.
Definitely go check Mickey out. Well, cheers to you all. Until the next conversation, stay curious and stay sane out there.
Catch you next time.